does a show on Sportsnet Central. Ken Reid, he's been on the program before. He's joining us. Kenneth, Blue Jay hat.
Sure.
What's the mood like 3 days? What do you guess? 3 days later,
It's bad. It's. I think it's like there's. How can I say it? It's like an opportunity lost almost. I think people will eventually come around to what a great season it was, but I think the people that are saying that aren't exactly the diehards. I think the diehards are just saying it was there. Like it was right there, and it was ripped out of the Blue Jays' hands multiple times. There were so many chances to win. So I think that's what adds to the pain. I think going into the World Series, it was hey, this is great. This is free money. We weren't expecting to win anything. But then when it's there, and it's there on so many occasions, and you don't win, I think that makes it more painful.
I want to know the odds. I want someone to go take a pitching machine and throw balls against that wall and see how many before the ball sticks. And I don't know if it was fastball in Pictou County. Have you ever seen a ball stick in a wall like that?
Yeah, there was some fastball. That's when I stopped playing. I'm a real baseball guy. No, I've seen them stick in walls before, but never in Toronto. And to me, that is that run scores. So it's 3-2, and Barger's on second, and there's nobody out. So it's a whole different ballgame right there. But then the next night, you get bases loaded with one out in the ninth, and it's just, I don't know how many chances you get. The baseball gods are putting it on a tee, going, okay, you can do this, and it just. They couldn't finish. If you tell me that Addison, look at this play by Clement. This is ridiculous. They're playing him so shallow, and all those guys have to do is collide an inch higher, and that ball hits the ground. It's just so painful to look at it and look how close it was. It's hard to believe that everything could go against you at one point.
I said to my wife, you know the place to be watching this? A Las Vegas sports book. People would have been losing their marbles. It would have been off the charts. Like something. Okay, let's talk about the book. Eighth book.
Eighth book.
The next one. Someone give you the idea? Someone give you the idea to write this one?
Yeah, Kevin Hansen, who was the head honcho at Simon & Schuster, he knows I like to tell my hockey stories. He said, I always think that scouts would have a ton of stories. And I said, you're right. So I started calling scouts. This is by no means a how to find a player book. This is let me tell some stories from hanging out in those dingy Sasky rinks, right? Let's go. Let's get at it. Let's Macklin, Saskatchewan it up. Let's go.
Well, I walk into the Graham Tour last week, the big Bantam tournament here, and the boys playing, and like the first scout I see, Wayne Armstrong. I'm like, Wayner, how's it going? And you got anything about Wayner in the book?
I think I got stuff about Army, and Ken Fox, who was a scout for Red Deer, he's the guy that drafted Army. He talks about how he knew Wayne, and Army's the perfect hockey specimen because Mom's the figure skater, and Wayne's elbows up in the chicken wire, right, gooning it up. The old Wayne Armstrong special, right, in Lloydminster. It's what is it? A half a Pepsi, a bag of Fun Dip, and a punch in the nose. For $2 at the canteen.
Everybody knows scouts, and we just had the Western Professional Scouts Foundation put on a great event on the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, and you hear some of these stories, and it's the grind. What can you give people as a tease in the book? Something maybe a little story of something that is like you're going to want to read it because it's like two guys talking over a beer.
That's it. Well, boys, these guys remind me a lot of us when we were trying to break into the media. It's a grind. They remind me of my brother, who's a successful stand-up Canadian comic, and by that I mean he has his own car and his name's on a lease. It's a grind. My brother used to drive my Pontiac Sunfire from Calgary to Fairview, Alberta, for a $50 gig. There's a scout in this book. He starts out in the OHL and he's hitchhiking to games because he doesn't have a car. He's hitchhiking to games to scout in the Ontario Hockey League. So if that doesn't reek of passion and want, I don't know what does. Like if you got to hitchhike to work, that's dedication. I don't care what your vocation is. So yeah, Jeff Toohey, he was scouting in the O early in his tenure, his first job, and he's hitchhiking to games. So whatever it takes.
Is there one trait you would say these guys all have? There's like one characteristic that they all possess that they need in order to do this as a lifestyle.
It's not a physical trait, but it's a mental one. They have to love it, like just beyond. I mean, we can sit through a midget game, right? Maybe that we don't know anybody there. Can you sit through 6 of them back to back all day at a tournament? Can you just go to a AA game when you know no one there on the off chance that maybe you'll find someone? These guys just love it. Like it's almost to the point of sickening, how much they love the game, and they're kind of what makes everything work. They're like the best boy grip or the assistant sound guy in your favorite movie. They get no credit, but it doesn't happen if they don't do it.
It's missed flights. It's car rentals being, but obviously the roads in Western Canada, the Maritimes would be awful as well, getting from point to point. And then I see it now. You're eating. Like your eating habits are out the window.
Walking coronaries.
Absolutely. In the business we're in, we work weird hours. We got to watch what we eat. These guys are the same. It's rink food. It's hopping rides with buddies. It's funny too, because they all get along. A lot of them share rides together, but nobody shares state secrets, right? Like there's so many things you can talk about, but you just can't talk about your state secrets. So I like that there's a fraternity of these guys. They all respect what each other does, but they'll only go so far in what they'll share. Like they're not going to share what their GM's looking for or what they think about a particular player, but they'll share everything else. And I think that's where the stories come from, right? From the book, because you're driving in a car across the prairies, you got to talk about something, right? So all these stories pop up, and I'm sure you guys know Archie Henderson. He's just a beautiful storyteller. So Archie's featured prominently in this book, and there's just a lot of fun stuff that I didn't think I'd end up writing about when I talk to scouts, because I think a lot of people just think scouting is just, okay, does this guy get pucks in deep? Does he skate well up and down his wing? But it's a mental grind too, right? They got to establish trust with these players. It's like hiring for any job. If you're hiring for a restaurant cook, well, you have 2 guys. You have one cook that's just the best cook in the world. He's the best, but he's a little off his rocker. Or you have another cook that's really good. You're going to get the really good cook and try to teach him to be the best, aren't you? So that's kind of hockey scouting.
The hockey card books, absolutely loved them. It was a trip down memory lane, absolutely. Seeing cards that I either had, or like the bad airbrushing, or the glittery curtains behind the guys, or just the horrible photographs. It's like, this is the best photo you had of these guys.
I know.
Do you have anything in the hopper now? I know the ink is still dry on this one, but what's next, or what do you want to do next?
I just took a break from writing to pop on with you guys here, and now I'm taking my kid to hockey practice, so I'm done writing for the day. But let me see what's behind you there. We got the crease. We got Detroit Red Wings. I was just trying up a little something about the Detroit Red Wings. I take it you guys both are children of the 80s. You both grew up in the 80s?
77 birth date, 76. Yeah.
You'll like what I'm writing about. Yeah, you'll like what I'm writing about next. That's all I can say for now. You'll be entertained.
Sweet. And Harry's a big book guy. So
that's good. Harry got a lot, Harry. That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, there's one little tidbit in here. There's some sort of tie-in with the Tragically Hip, isn't there? I read somewhere.
Oh my God! So this is wild. So again, like you set up to write a book on hockey scouts. So there's the scout in the book named Paul Henderson, and Paul taught me that lead with empathy. This is just a wonderful man. Like, holy smokes, I've never met anybody like him. And Cam Russell, who's the GM of the Halifax Mooseheads, I wanted to know how Halifax has this pipeline to Europe. And he said, Paul Henry. He goes, and you'll never meet anybody like Paul Henry. And I haven't. So we start talking about, I run into Paul at a hockey luncheon. I don't even know it's him at the start. And we start talking. I'm like, oh my God, this is Paul Henry. And his background is he is a psychologist. He goes from psychologist to doing a favor for a buddy with a couple teams and doing a favor for a buddy with the New York Rangers to hired as a Rangers part-time psychologist, part-time hockey scout. And he takes his career into hockey scout. But his background, obviously, he's a psychologist. He was the psychologist in Kingston during, the 38-year-old 38 years old song, 12 Men Broke Loose in 73, Millhaven Maximum Security. Paul was the psychologist at that prison when the escape happened. He says it wasn't 12. 15 escaped. 1 came back because of the flies. It was 14, but they wrote 12. He figures for poetic license. So he knows all about that story because he was actually the psychologist at that prison at the time. And
Crazy.
I'm like, and now he's one of the greatest scouts to ever live, which is amazing.
Jeez.
That's
all right.
amazing.
So where do people get it? Obviously online, or do we got to go to? Should we go to the bookstore in the mall right by the food court?
Please.
Coles?
Support your local bookstore when you buy the next one. You can get it online or wherever fine books are sold. Support your independent bookstore if you can. They're like the scouts of the book world, right? They keep it going. So, if you know somebody with a local bookstore, go down and buy the next one. And I just did a video on Instagram. I'm not a big Instagram guy, but I discovered something about this book that really makes it work. And if you check out my Instagram handle, it's at Ken Reid Sportsnet. You're going to see what's really interesting about this book. And I didn't really know about it till I got it. So that's my tease.
Old-fashioned tease. There it is. Perfect.
That's my tease,
You set it up. Aren't you coming this way?
Showmanship.
Aren't you coming this way sometime soon? You're in this.
I was supposed to be in Macklin Saturday night, but it was Game 7. It was Terry Ryan and I for the Macklin Sportsman's Dinner, and I couldn't go. So shout out to all the people in Macklin who totally understood that I had my main job as anchor, and they were not going to give me off Game 7. That wasn't going to happen. So big thanks to Macklin. I hope I can make it next year.
Well,
And Macklin's also known at their canteen for the Wayne Armstrong special too, but that's a punch in the nose, hot Pepsi, and something else. You'll have to go to the arena.
okay. Well, I'm sure somebody's listening out there in some small town. They're like, we got to bring that guy in to come and speak at our sportsman dinner.
Me or Wayne.
Both. That's a combo.
It's a double bill.
Colby, me, Colby, Wayne, Riley, and Terry Ryan. That'd be a hoot.
Riley. Oh, what an underrated riot that guy is.
Wow.
Many nights at the Patricia Hotel.
God, the Armstrongs are a beautiful family. They're Saskatchewan's first family. I know a lot's made about the Howes. All due respect, Gordy and company, but I'm telling you, they are the most Saskatchewan people ever. They're lovely. Them and the Shens should have Saskatchewan off. See who wins.
There we go. All right. Any teapot updates? Quick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, I just got this in. This is unscripted, by the way. So my cousin and T went fishing. Okay. And I get this picture. Hold on. I'm going to see if this works. This is coming up. This is Teapot. If anyone doesn't know, my last book featured Teapot. It was my hometown hockey hero. Soft as hands east of Montreal. Never seen a man score like this before in my life. And so my cousin went fishing with the sweet one. Oops. And here they are on the wharf after they came in. Where the heck is it? Right here. That's the sweet one in the yellow. See if I can get it there, boys.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's T in the yellow. That's a little bit of a T Una. And that's my cousin Tyler on the other side of the fish.
Right on. That's awesome.
You can't get those in Saskatchewan.
No. Well, I never know. You're north of Flin Flon there in that Creighton area. You never know what you're going to dig out of the... Yeah.
Rivers are deep.
Yeah. All right, Kenny, let's catch up again. Best of luck with the book. Anytime. Appreciate it. Sounds like an awesome read.
Thanks a million, boys. And keep reading. And like I said, Halloween's done. I wanted people to pass them out for trick-or-treat gifts. They could have bought 50 at a time. Do the same thing for Christmas,
Yeah, there's a lady in Melville.
Things are those things you crack at dinner.
Yeah. There's a lady in Melville that hands out mitts. She knits them all year, we found out, and then she hands them out at Halloween, or used to. So that's Sasky.
Wow,
that's Sasky. That's Sasky.
Is she a millionaire? I thought everybody from Melville's a millionaire, right?
Have a good show tonight. See you, Ken.
Yes.